Hi, I'm Madeline Smith, and this is my synthesis project. There are two components of reading. There's the Big Five and balanced literacy. These two are tied together and both needed for the success of learning how to read. We will start with the Big Five. Phonological and phonemic awareness, which is being aware of language before reading or writing, and this starts in the womb. This refers to the idea that words are made up of individual phonemes or sounds. Growing on that is the second skill of phonics. This is sounds and letter-sound correspondence and spelling patterns. These are how letters are linked to sounds. Students also learn the alphabetical principle. This is where balanced literacy comes in. After children begin to understand that letters have sounds, teachers can begin to do shared readings. This is when teachers join or share the text. The teachers model good reading skills and usually use big books so that students can see letters and pictures clearly. This establishes print awareness, language, and story skills. Following the process of creating sounds to form words and beginning to be able to read, there is the third of the Big Five, which is comprehension. Students can engage with the text and understand and apply what is read. Factors that can affect this are background knowledge, vocabulary, fluency, motivation, and interest level. For example, my case study student was unable to understand a book about tree houses because she didn't know what a tree house was, therefore making it difficult to understand and be interested in what she was reading. With comprehension, there are the systems of strategic actions, and this involves inferring, which is thinking about something means but isn't stated, predicting what happens next and making kids pay attention, and summarizing, which shows the order in which a book is read. An example of this is a KWL charts that are used, and this happens in my mentor teacher's classroom all the time to help the students figure out what they know before learning a subject, what they're learning, and what they learned. To gain a sense of comprehension, teachers can do interactive read-alouds, which allows teachers to read to students so that they can think about the reading, and the teacher can facilitate questions and help students think about and respond to the text. It also allows for processing and building comprehension abilities. The fourth of the Big Five boosts students' abilities to comprehend information. This is vocabulary. This increases comprehension because the students won't have to think too hard about what the page is trying to say, but what it means. There are function vocabulary, such as words like as, and, or what, which are structural, interest-based vocabulary, which is things that they hear and see often, like football, McDonald's, and content, which is mainly school subjects, so if a student was learning math, addition, and subtraction. There's also direct and indirect. Direct is critical for understanding and found in other texts, and indirect we have speaking vocabulary, listening vocabulary, which is understanding what they're hearing, reading vocabulary, such as recognizing words while reading them, and writing, which they can use in writing. It is helpful to boost vocabulary by using word walls. In my classroom, with my mentor teacher, a few days ago, a student used the word wall in their classroom during a quiz, and that was okay because they just needed to learn, look at the word and recognize it so that they know what it meant. To connect each component to the Big Five, there's the last skill, fluency. This is reading with appropriate pausing, voice, rate, accuracy, and recognizing words. This completes the gap between recognizing words and actually comprehending words. Teachers encourage reading familiar books repeatedly to improve all parts of fluency. This is when students become independent readers. This comes from being a good fluent reader. It has the least help from a teacher, but needs to be supported by it. In my classroom, in my mentor teacher's classroom, there's a library with different levels, genres, and types of books for the students to choose from when they finish their work as a station and for free time. To now complete the circle of balanced literacy, there is the last type of reading that can strengthen each of the Big Five, guided reading. This is when a teacher gets a small group of same-level students and read the same book. It prompts vocabulary decoding, encourages students to share and comprehend, and provides students to read aloud and work on fluency, and involves phonics or letter activities that are hands-on. Each part of balanced literacy can help build on a component of the Big Five, and each component of the Big Five can lead to the most important part of balanced literacy, independent reading. Learning phonological awareness leads to the realization that phonics are letter match sounds. This is the basis of learning to read, and teachers begin shared read-alouds. Beginning to read then leads students to comprehending books and what they are reading, in which teachers do interactive read-alouds to allow students to reflect and think about the materials being read, and to strengthen the ability to comprehend. Learning and gaining a higher vocabulary set can increase comprehension, and this falls onto fluency. When you can accurately read words, understand story, and be able to pause, use voice and expression, and gain speed while reading, you then have a student who is a successful, independent reader. Up until then, all skills are being reinforced by guided readings.